Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. Here, let me fix my camera a little bit. If you have any questions, comments, topics, anything that you want me to give you my take on, put it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to do so. If you want to connect with me on different social media outlets, on Facebook, just search for Carlos Flores Jr. and look for my face in the profile. On Instagram, you can actually type at Back on Basics and you will find my Instagram account. On X, you do the same thing. You type at Back on Basics and you will find my Instagram account, my X account. On WhatsApp, you can also search for me under at Back on Basics 9985. So again, there's different ways for you to communicate with me. There's different ways for you to connect and give me feedback. There's different ways for you to see some of the short videos. The longer videos, I keep them here on Facebook, which is great because I want to make sure that you also come to my YouTube channel. I want to make sure that you watch, that you go through the videos, that you go through the examples, that you go through the different topics, and make sure that you're always subscribing. So that way any new videos, you'll get notification of new videos. So today's topic is the same thing that I talked about, but in a longer video, the bucket list. I've talked about the bucket list before. A bucket list is a list that you write down, and again, I'm giving you my take on it, right? I have a bucket list in a book, and at some point I will get that book in here and I'll show it to you. And I have the things that I want to accomplish, right? So some of the things in my bucket list include being healthy, right? Losing weight. Again, healthy is good because healthy means that, that I can do more things, that I can be focused, that I can move forward and do things. I'm going to show you a picture bear with me. I'm going to show you a picture of one of my posts that I did in 2022, and I'm going to make it bigger so that way you can see. This was TikTok when I had TikTok. I canceled it, by the way, a while back. But look, I want you to see the difference, right? What 2 years have done. And remember, I think I was more than 267 at that point. I mean, I wasn't feeling good about myself. I didn't know in which direction to go. I was in between jobs. I mean, I didn't start walking until a little bit later afterwards in 2023. Actually, I started walking in 2022, so it's been a little bit over a year. So maybe it is after this, but I don't know if you can see it. Look at that. Oh, let me find the best way to do it. I don't know if I can do this. Let me bring it down a little bit more. So you see it, right? You see that? That's me. 2022, July 31st, 2022. A memory came of me, and I just wanted to share it with you. At this point, in July 31st, 2022, you see me not smiling at all. I had the hanging here. You can see the difference, right? I was heavy, and I'm not saying that heaviness is bad. It's a choice that we make, and I made a choice to be healthier. Not that I'm losing weight just because, but I want to be healthier. But look, I was pre-diabetic. Let me see if I can I was pre-diabetic. I had acid reflux when I went to sleep. I had no energy, and I was always sitting on the couch. I was always complaining about everything. Don't get me wrong, I still complain about things, but it wasn't like this. I was in tears when I saw this, and I said, "Holy cow! If I would have known then what I know now, right? In the present moment, I would have made different choices back then." It's amazing what 2 years can do. Remember, this is not, life is not a race. It's a marathon. It took 2 years to get from here to here. And I'm still going. Because believe me, it's going to take me some more time to get to back to 209 and 208, and then eventually 200. And then eventually my ultimate goal will be, my stretch goal will be 195. I want to be healthy. I saw my dad suffer, and it was because of cancer. But still, I want to give my body a chance to be focused in my mind and focused in my body. I want to make sure that I give myself a chance. This wasn't giving myself a chance. And I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not saying anything. I did not give myself a chance. I was snoring. I was at the beginnings of sleep apnea. Again, I was pre-diabetic. I did a lot of different things. By this time here, I didn't have much of a bucket list because, I was in a different state of mind. You have to realize that whatever's going on in the present moment, you have to embrace it. You have to realize that it's kind of like what the saying says: the journey of 1,000 steps begins with one step. It took 2 years, and my journey began about less than 2 years ago. But 2 years ago, this is me. This was me. But you know what? Remember what I said, right? You accept it. This was me. You accept it. I accepted the fact that I was not in the best of health, that I was pre-diabetic, that I had sleep apnea, or the beginnings of sleep apnea. I snored. I still do. I still snore. Don't get me wrong. But I snored in a different manner, more forced. And then at the same time, I had acid reflux. Because honestly, I would eat like at 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would go straight to sleep. Straight to bed. And that was bad. That was bad. So, again, journey of 1,000 steps begins with one step. Remember that. And that you can actually put in your bucket list. So let me close this up. Man, that's a different person. I'm tearing. But again, remember what I said. You have to accept that. That's part of your life. That's part of your experience. So I'm accepting the fact that came up because it's humbled me. It humbled me because it's hard to comprehend, to understand that I'm in a different place now. And I can say, what if I would have started this earlier? What if I started when I was younger? What if I do this? What if I do that? But you know what? Why am I going to stress out thinking about the past? The past is done, right? It's the past. It's in the past. It's done. I can't do anything about it. I can look at it and use that as my motivation. I can do that. I can use that as my motivation, which it does. I mean, but again, it's like mind body balance, right? Healthy mind, healthy body, and vice versa. Healthy body, healthy mind. And so we have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. We got to do this. Again, when you're ready. Remember what I say. I'm part of your support system. And I'm gonna recommend things, and I'm gonna talk about different topics, but it's up to you to decide when you're ready to do so. A long time to be ready. And sometimes, again, I have these what ifs. What if I would have started a little bit earlier? It doesn't matter. It's starting now. It started for me, it started about a little bit over a year and a half. And believe me, it was hard. It was hard. I mean, I'm still seeing some of the consequences because I was heavier. But again, I'm focused, right? My body's healthier. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm healthier. You know, sometimes I eat salads. I used to not eating salads. I used to complain that I don't want to eat greens. That's for animals. But I eat salad. I'm gonna eat salad right after this video. I'm done with this video. But I want to make sure that we bring it back to your bucket list. Your bucket list are the things that you want to do. And this, being healthy, was one of the things on my bucket list. And it's amazing that I'm gonna get to scratch up something off the bucket list. And remember, the name bucket list is a list that you make, that you're trying to complete before you kick the bucket, before you move on, right? And so it's amazing that I've done a lot of things in my bucket list. And so once in a while I go and I scratch off the things that I completed, but I also have new things that I wanted to add on. And in my shorts, it's smiling. In my shorts, I've actually talked about one of my bucket list came off yesterday. We went to watch UB40 at Ace of Spades in Sacramento. Amazing. It was amazing because we were so close. It was standing room only. So we stood there from, I think, like 7:30 all the way to like 10:30. We stood, and I mean that the concert wasn't that. I mean, it was getting ready for the concert, and it started, and so but it was amazing because it was quaint, and we were able to see. We were like third row standing, and it was great because we were able to see things. Look at one of my shorts. It actually has one of the songs that they sang, and you can see how close it was. I mean, it was very close. UB40's one of my favorite bands. Remember, Def Leppard. Oh, if I can just see Def Leppard, that's another one on my bucket list that I want to do. And so it was great to hear it live. It was great to interact with the band, because they were actually looking at us and saying, "Hey, a bald guy with a beard in the third row that's a little bit taller than everybody else, you stand out." I mean, you stand out. And it was great because great time. So that was, again, my bucket list item was actually a little bit more generic. It was more of like being in a small venue with a band that I liked. Being able to have a good time and just enjoy the concert from beginning to the end. I mean, I've done so many things. I mean, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, I was able to go to Alejandro Fernandez, right? Very, very, very famous Mexican singer. Alejandro Fernandez. And so I was able to go because it was courtesy of the Hispanic Chamber of Sacramento. They raffled off tickets, and I won 2 tickets. I was there. It was amazing. He sang all the songs that I love. I mean, that was a bucket list by itself. So Alejandro Fernandez, if you see this video, híjole, it was a great concert. But it was amazing. You see the smiles that I get? It's because my bucket list gets crossed off, but I also add other stuff. So right now, my thing that I'm gonna add next is getting to 195. 195. The other thing that I've been saying over and over and over within the last 2 weeks is instead of bulking up, I'm gonna shred like Monkey Man. I mean, I'm not endorsing it, but Peacock, that's where the movie is. You can look at the preview on YouTube. I mean, it's amazing. I loved it. It's a lot. It's gory. It is very gory. So again, it's not for kids. It's not for young adult. I mean, you can see. But anyways, it's like the shredding. It's not the bulking, right? It's a shredding, and that's what I'm doing. That's my next goal. Also, is just doing that. So again, bucket list, right? Going to Spain is another thing on my bucket list. Going to visit Japan is another thing on my bucket list. Eventually heading back to El Salvador just to visit. It's a bucket list. Seeing my friends, right? I know that this is an English video, but one of my friends from elementary school, his name is Herman. He lives in the town that we live, and I mean, he was there for my dad. He was the one who actually signed the death certificate when my dad passed, and so I owe him so much. Appreciate everything, and that's gonna be another thing on my bucket list is go to El Salvador and connect with Herman and thank him for everything that he did for my dad. I mean, he would visit him like sometimes every day, sometimes even twice a day. But it was amazing. Thank you, Herman, if you're seeing this. But I mean, that's one of my bucket lists that I'm gonna add as well. So these things in your bucket list actually motivate you to do the things that you need to do to get there. These are the ones that you're going to use as compounding victories that will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're going to hit your goals. Scratch off something from your bucket list. It motivates you. I mean, darn, I was going to say something else. This picture that got that memory from 2022, July 31st, 2022 from Facebook that I did on TikTok before I canceled TikTok. Man, a big difference. You saw it. That's a big difference. I lived with acid reflux for years because I've been heavy a lot of my life. I lived with pre-diabetes for a lot of years. I lived with snoring, like heavy snoring, and sleep and the beginnings of sleep apnea for a long time. I just learned to live with it, and that's the thing that I want to make sure that I message to you, that in the here and now, if you want to make a change, right? Take your first step, and then the second, and then the third. Remember, I've been telling you about steps, right? I've been saying steps. That's all you need to do. Take your first step forward, and then the second one, and it adds, 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 and then eventually you get to like 1/3 of the way there, and then you get to 1/2 of the way there, and then you get to the end of the journey, end of the goal, when you reach your goal. And then, if you choose to, you can add another goal, Or you can celebrate. Remember, celebration brings closure. You want closure. Once you hit a goal, you want closure. So, but bucket list. I would recommend you have it. Put it on in a notebook. Put a bucket list on your phone so that way you have it. Make sure that you follow it and you look through it to make sure that if you have to scratch something off or get rid of something because you accomplished it, celebrate it. Closure off to the side, right? And then for me, like that picture 2 years ago, I had to accept it. I mean, I was in tears, but I had to accept it. And I'm telling you, it was this week. I mean, that came out, I think, 2 days ago. I had to accept it. That was me 2 years ago. First. Actually, not 2 days ago. It was yesterday that came on. So, again, bucket list. Motivation. Right? You have to accept the good, the bad, and the ugly of your life. Because if you don't, you're going to have attachments and you're going to be held back. And you're not going to move forward as fast as you want to. So again, right? Move forward. Move forward. That's the only direction that you should be moving. But also be in the present moment so that way you can move forward. So you can have mind-body balance. Right? So you can be focused. So you can be focused and ready. Move forward. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new videos that come on board. Again, suggestions, comments, questions, put them in the comment section. If you want to connect with me on other social media outlets, Facebook, you can connect with me by typing in Carlos Flores Jr. On Instagram, you can connect with me by typing in @BackOnBasics. Also, in terms of irks, sorry, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's just mind blown that 2 years ago I was like that. It's humbling. It's humbling, ladies and gentlemen. It's humbling. You see me. I'm smiling, but I'm being humble. I'm humbled. I didn't know I could get to this place. I was hopeless, but I did. And it took steps, and it took motivation, and it took a bucket list. But you can do it. Right? You can do it. One step at a time. So till next time, Back on Basics.